Craig is a professional speaker. He's okay, you're in the Speakers Association.
Right.
You are an author, soon to be 3 books.
Yes.
Well, or a contributor or an author of 3 books. You're a musician, crazy for playing live music around town. I've seen lots of posts on Facebook about that. And I'm going to let you do Heart and Stroke Foundation. You've done some work with them. Oh my.
Waterloo Region Suicide Prevention.
Okay, yes, I know there was a big list.
Axonify, which is men's. Axonify is about helping people learn better within corporations, and they've developed a men's health group to help men talk with each other about mental health issues.
Very good, excellent. Awesome. Well, I'm very happy you're here tonight, Craig, and I look forward to your speech. I don't have the title of your speech either because I couldn't get that up, so. Is it on here? No, it's not on here.
The magic in 60 feet and 6 inches.
Okay, we're going to do this official for your video. In Toastmasters, we introduce the speech in a particular order, and if I printed that, I would be able to do it much more easily. And the time is 15 minutes?
20.
20 minutes? That's fine.
Agreed.
Yeah, you can have it. You're our special guest.
Especially since you talked about so people don't go over their time.
Yes.
I might as well set it up.
Get a buffer. Get that buffer in place. If you know you're going to need it, try to get it in there. All right. The magic in 60 feet in 60 seconds.
In 6 inches.
6 inches. Okay. There we go for the camera. The magic in 60 feet and 6 inches. Craig Dubecki. Craig Dubecki. The magic in 60 feet and 6 inches.
You got it. Gotta get set up without giving it away. Check. Okay. Thank you for that introduction. Who wrote that, by the way?
I don't know.
You can tell I'm a writer. You know, once I start, I just go. But welcome, all of you. Well, the weather tonight. What a change from the weekend, eh? It's like this weekend, it was like summer, and here we've had torrential rainstorms today. I'm going to go back to the weekend because I don't like today. It was Saturday, Sunday were so beautiful. Didn't even want to wake up. Well, wanted to wake up, but didn't want to stay in bed. You wanted to get out and get out into the energy of the sun and the warmth and start enjoying the day. So that's what I did on Sunday. It was so nice. I got in my truck and I went over to Chapters by Conestoga Mall, over there to the Starbucks, and I wanted to get my tea. I don't know if they call it this anymore, but it's what I call it, and they know it. It's the Tazo Chai Latte tea. I get screwed up all the time, and they still know what it is. So I wanted that, and with non-fat milk, but with a little bit of whipped cream on the top. How hypocritical is that? And with some cinnamon. So I come into that area where the counter is, and it's already buzzing. There's 20, 25 people, maybe about 6 people in line. But there's chatter going on. Everybody's talking. There's so much energy. So I get over in line and waiting my turn, and I just picked up on the voices of 2 women. Now these women, I would say they were middle-aged women, so like late 50s. And they're sitting at a table over by the window, and they're just going away with each other. They're animated, their hands are going, and the expressions on their face. I'm thinking, God, what are they talking about? Wow, okay. So I get a little bit closer to the counter, and then I hear the one woman say, "Astro," and then it kind of died down. I lost it. Astro. Astrology? That's where my mind goes. She's thinking about astrology. And then I saw her wave her arm like this, and she said, "Stars." astrology and stars. Okay, that makes sense. And then she said, as I moved closer to the counter, she said, this is my favorite time of year. Okay, now astrology, stars, favorite time of year. Okay, well the stars are really brilliant at this time of year with the cold air. And yeah, you can see the constellations. So the fall is her favorite time of year because of the stars and what you can see. So I got up to the counter and I placed my order and I'm paying for it. And then the other woman said, maple leaf. And then it died down and they kept talking. Maple leaf, now that throws me off. Well, no, actually it's not. Because the fall, the trees on the maple leaf tree, they're changing color, it's brilliant. So it's not the stars, it's not astrology, it's the fall. And then she said, it's my favorite time of year too. Okay, so they both love the fall. That's what it's all about. So chatter kept going. I went around the side to get my tea and got the lid. And if you know those lids, you have to be careful putting them on. You got to make sure they're square, otherwise they're skewed and you're going to have them all over you. So I did that, and I made this semicircle around through the people, just wandering around because I really wanted to hear more of what they were saying. Okay, what's going on here? And I got a bit closer, and the other woman said, this is such a fun time of year, I love it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. So I said, excuse me, ladies. And they looked at me. And I said, sorry, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but I couldn't help but hear your conversation. Both of you love the fall, right? And let me guess, it's because the stars in the sky are so brilliant, and you can study the astrology of constellation and the maple leaves, it's all the colors. Now, I got to tell you one more thing about these women. They were vibrant in colors. One was wearing a blouse very similar to your color, red, white, pink, yellow. The other one similar, she had a sweater on, like was yellow and orange, like the balloons in the corner, in the back there. And there was a little bit of that deep red of the maple leaf. So, very festive, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's the fall. And they looked at me, they looked at each other, looked at me, they shook their head. No, it's not the fall? Okay, hang on, then you must be making crafts, okay? 2 months from tomorrow is Christmas. All right, so we're getting close to Christmas, and you're thinking about the festive season, the family coming over, dinners, and all the lights on the trees and outside. And they looked at me and said, no. No. And they looked at each other and they started laughing, and one woman said, no, this is the best time of year, the favorite time of year, because all the major sports are being played at the same time. What? And they nodded their head. Yes, all the sports are being played. Just think of that. I thought, okay, hockey is starting, basketball is starting, NASCAR's on, tennis is finishing, soccer's being played, NFL is starting, CFL is finishing. You've got, what else is there? I said basketball, and you've got baseball, you got the World Series. He didn't say astrology, she said no. I said the Astros. Houston Astros are going to win the World Series. And I said, well, why'd you go like that with your arm? Because they've got players that hit home runs. It's a team full of stars. Okay. Right, well, you said Maple Leafs. Yeah, she said the Maple Leafs are going to finally be in the Stanley Cup. Okay. Whoa, did I go wrong with my perception here? Okay, was I way off base? And ladies and gentlemen, I want to take the next little bit of time here to talk more about perception, and in particular about sports, how it can help with perception. And you're also going to learn a little bit on aerodynamics. And you're going to learn something maybe that will help you overcome your fear of heights. Seeing the theme of tonight is overcoming fear. Now, baseball. After all that story, They love sports. It was all about sports to them. That's great. I'm okay with that. Baseball. I played baseball for 16 years. It's the most boring sport to watch. I just like, yeah, God, everybody's standing there doing whatever, won't describe it, and you've got one person doing all the action on this little bit of mound of dirt. Okay, so the pitcher. This is your baseball. Okay, this is the hard ball. This is the same size as they use in major leagues, not like the softball. That's big for 3-pitch or slow pitch, that type of thing. It's made out of leather. It's woven together with stitches in a very strategically placed pattern. There's 108 stitches on a baseball. Unlike a ping pong ball, which is just the ball. It's nothing on top of it. So when you hit a ping pong ball, it goes really quickly off the mallet, and then it dies down from the air. With baseball, the seams actually help cut through the air. Okay? And I'm going to give you a little demonstration about some of the magic that happens here with pitch when a pitcher is throwing it to the batter. Okay? So I was a pretty good batter. I want you to pretend that I'm up here with the baseball bat, and that there's a pitcher over there, and he's going to pitch to me. And I'm going to swing, and I'm going to try and hit the ball. Now, what I want you to listen to is just the description of what the pitcher is doing and what's happening with the ball. You'll catch up. You'll follow this. Okay, so I'm standing here, all right, I'm getting ready. Actually, hang on. This is getting, baseball player doesn't wear a coat. This is better. Okay, so we're ready. Now, come on, pitcher. Okay, some of your eyes, I'm not sure if you trust me. I was a good hitter. Okay, so to make you feel a bit more at ease, hope you're better with this. Okay, so we're ready, because there's glass there, there's lights. You're some heads right about, I don't know, you guys kind of sit tall. So come on, pitcher, throw it in here. So maybe, I was a good hitter. I was a home run hitter. So let's just scale this down. One more. Okay, you feel better? Everybody okay with this? All right, so come on, pitcher, throw it in here, throw it in here. Here it goes. Whoa! 4-seam fastball, blew it right past me. Just remember that. That was fast. Okay, 1 strike. Here, throw it again. I'm ready for you. I got to adjust to the speed. All right, here we go. Here we go. Throw it. Whoa! Knuckleball, change up. Well, that was a lot slower. How'd you do that? Wow, that was good. 2 strikes on me. Okay, 3 strikes and I'm out. No, I'm going to hit this guy. I'm going to get ready. All right, you change speeds up to me. All right, come on, pitcher. Pitcher's got a rubber arm. Pitcher's got a rubber arm. Throw it. Whoa! Rush back, pitch. A little chin music, eh? All right. You got me a little worried here. Yeah, but I can handle that. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here we go. I'm ready. What are you going to throw this time? Come on. Pitcher's got a rubber arm. Pitcher's got a pretty good rubber arm. All right, here we go. Whoa! Oh, slider. Outside. Fooled me. I'm struck out. All right, that little episode there. What's your take on that? What's your first thought after I finish doing that demonstration? A lot of people would say, that batter, poor guy, struck out. You know, yeah, he struck out, he didn't hit the ball, he wasn't good enough. Or we can go and look at it a different way, the way I like to look at it, and say, man, I struck him out, I'm a good pitcher. That was awesome. So, trying to demonstrate a little lesson here on how you can look at things. The dominant thought is the batter because that's what you see. But sometimes when you see something, we ignore what isn't clearly as visible. And if we open ourselves up to different possibilities, we can see something positive instead of the negative. Sports is wonderful for that. It's for building, every child should play sports because it just helps understand situations. You get so much wisdom from playing sports. It can be frustrated even if you're not good at it. It's still things that you learn in sports. It will come back sometime in life and you'll be using some of that wisdom that you once learned. Now, let's talk about the pitcher. So that's a bit about perception there. Aerodynamics. How did that ball do those things? And what were they anyway? The distance from home plate to the pitcher's mound is 60 feet, 6 inches. That's professional, that's Waterloo Tigers, that's Kitchener Panthers. I played for both of them. I played in college in Arizona. I tried out for the Toronto Blue Jays. I was one of the most feared pitchers in Canada. So that 60 feet, 6 inches, there's magic that happens in that distance. And most people don't know about it. I threw the ball at 100 miles an hour. To travel that distance, it takes just over a third of a second. So if we count 1,001, by the time I wind up and I come and the ball leaves, 1 foul, and it's in the catcher's glove already. There's so much manipulation, there's so much magic, just by how you hold the ball and what you do with your wrist. So the first pitch that blew past the batter was a 4-seam fastball. That is if I hold the fingers across the seams like this, and as I let go of the ball, push off, and it rotates with 4 seams going in the same direction. That helps cut through the wind or the air that it's traveling through, and that helps get the velocity. That's how you get the fastest pitch. That's why a ping pong ball, it doesn't travel very far after a little, travel very fast after a little bit. So that's a 4-seam fastball. A lot of rotation, cutting through the air. The second pitch was a knuckleball changeup. First of all, the changeup is a change of speed. Okay? A third of a second, the batter has very little time to react. Now you start manipulating the path of the ball or the speed of the ball. A knuckleball is thrown where the fingertips are against the seam as such. And as you release the ball, you push off, and that causes the ball to not spin. So the seams are just sitting there in the air for the air to catch them. And then it moves left and right, up and down. And if you've ever heard a commentator saying, boy, that pitcher made that ball dance, that's what's happening. It's a knuckleball and it's dancing through the air. Very, very difficult to hit. And it's slower. Now, that third pitch, that was so mean. Like the chin music coming, the ball is traveling right up here. A brush back pitch. So most pitchers will hold the ball with their fingers with the seams. And this is a two-seam fastball. So as it rotates, 2 seams are going in the same direction. And if you let the ball go slightly on an angle, you cause side spin, and the ball into a right-handed batter, the ball will actually tail into the batter. And that makes me step away. I don't want to get hit by a 100-mile-an-hour pitch. Now that the pitcher has him spooked, I step away from the plate. He threw a slider. A slider is like a sideways curveball. So you hold the ball with your fingers close together on a seam or against the seam. Some pitchers even have one finger pointed up. And as they let go, they just do a little twist of the wrist. As they let it go, it causes sideways spin the opposite way, and it curves away from the batter. So now that the pitcher's scared me and pushed me away, the ball will tail away and I won't be able to reach it. That's the magic. That's what happens in that 60 feet 6 inches, in that just over a third of a second. That pitcher can do that kind of magic. Now, the other thing magical about that distance is helping perception. Horizontal distance, 60 feet 6 inches, might be from here just to the outside porch through the windows. Okay, 20 steps. Nothing. Third of a second. I was a contractor, and I remember in Hamilton, I had to go up to the top of this grain silo storage tank, and I climbed up there right next to Hamilton Harbor, and I was shaking. I was terrified, but I had to keep going because I'm with my bosses. I grew up with a deathly fear of heights. So I got up there, and I'm looking down, and I'm like this, and there's, over the harbor, there's a storm coming, and we're at the top of this, and I can actually see lightning, and I hear thunder, and we're above the clouds. We're that high, and we were up there maybe 10 minutes, and my boss said, we better get downstairs. Well, they ran down the stairs, and I'm going down, and I think I'm bending the steel handrail as I'm trying to get down. I was so achy. I got to the bottom, and I thought, I can't do this. Like, how can I get over my fear of heights? I'm going to do this as a living. And something hit me. It was about a year later. And I just started, I think I was talking to my son about baseball, and I talked about distances. And that 60 feet, 6 inches came into my mind. I said, holy cow, that's 60 feet. I was only 120 feet up. Okay. Well, 60 feet is 6 stories. At 6 stories, I stand on it. People die at 6 stories. Yet I threw a ball in a third of a second. Wow, okay. All right, gotta think about this. Horizontal distance versus vertical distance. From home plate to first base is 90 feet. 9 stories. 9 stories, I would be shaking. I wouldn't even come close to the handrail. But people run that in 4.5 seconds. From second base from first base to second base is 90 feet also. So I'm thinking, wow, okay, I got to think about this vertical height as horizontal height. It's not that bad. And even from home plate to second base, as much as I was a hitter and a pitcher, I also caught. I could stand on my knee, I could sit on my knees, crouch on my knees, catch the ball, and if there was a runner from first trying to steal second, I could throw it from my knees, basically on a rope, a straight line, and that took maybe about 1 second for the ball to reach. Now the distance there, anybody like math? I failed grade 13 math. Thank you, Mr. Eccles, but I do appreciate Pythagorean theorem. All right, so the distance from home to second, we know that first base is 90 feet, we know that second base is 90 feet, and it's a 90-degree angle. So home to second is C. C equals the sum of A squared plus B squared, so first to second squared, and the square root of the sum of that is the distance C, which is 127 feet, 3 3/4 inches. I could throw that ball in a second. Yet that's 13 stories. Okay. So I did a little mind game with myself there. And because I wanted to change, I had this fear, And I was able to relate it to something that years and years ago I had a love for. Yeah, you know what? I didn't make professional baseball. I went a lot further than a lot of players did. But I didn't make it. But who knows when I'm going to use whatever I learned from back at that time. And it was 25 years later that I realized, you know what, I'm going to use this to overcome heights. Yeah, I still get up high, and I still quiver a little bit sometimes, but I know right away how to change my perception of what I'm thinking right there. Okay, horizontal. Okay, looking down. 130 feet? Yeah, that's a long way. I do not want to fall. I do not want to test that. But that's just home plate to second base. So, sports, baseball is one thing, but sports in all is a wonderful teacher of things that you may not necessarily know until you're older. So again, get your kids playing sports. If you've never played sports, it's never too late to get involved and to have some fun, get the body going, get working on the physical part of it, the health part of it, and learn some things for your new mind. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Craig. I'm glad you didn't actually hit a ball through this window, because then we'd all have to run and pretend it wasn't us. All right, so that takes us to our break. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, so you have an opportunity to go check out. Craig's brought some of his books and stuff at the back, I hear. Is that what you brought?
Yes.
Yes.
The book on the right is my personal book. I wrote that and published it about 2 years ago, but I haven't promoted it. So You Just Want to Be a Rock Star. And you can use that as a metaphor. It's all about everybody wants to rock in their own